I do believe in a higher power that sustains and directs all of life. I'd really like to know how to tell where I'm going. I get life is a mystery, but it really feels like I should at least know that. I don't have a clue about all this woo-woo. I take life as it comes, living day by day. Evolution this, evolution that. What is it supposed to mean? Evolution from what to what? Okay, so I get the nodes, but with my chart, how am I supposed to make the leap? This is either a crazy joke, some cosmic joke, or there's really a big secret to working it all out. If the purpose of life is evolution, how do we know where we are on our evolutionary path? That can be answered in infinite ways because there are infinite paths. Whether we're talking about the outer planets in Western astrology, which mark the generational collective consciousness we are here to evolve through and contribute to, are the Sidereal 120-year Mahadasha that marks the influences and duration of each planet at specific times in our birth chart. Today we're going to talk about the basic and universal evolutionary path, Great Mother Father God's nodal dance along the path of the ecliptic. Every 18 months, the type of dance they do changes how the collective planetary soul progresses through the cosmic layers of our unique evolution. We experience this as an oppositional yin-yang ego-soul energy pulling us along with them. On an ego level, it feels like pulling because as soon as we get used to Virgo North Node, Pisces South Node, we are thrust into the energy of Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node. However, simultaneously, during that transit, the soul was traversing the path the ego was preparing to enter in Leo Aquarius. And with a quick step ball change into Cancer Capricorn, the soul or sidereal astrology supports and prepares us for yet another opportunity to learn the dance of ego-soul alignment. What is this present evolutionary opportunity? Began in May 2017 in Cancer Leo Rahu North Node opposing K2 South Node energies in Capricorn Aquarius. In this full moon video, you will see how this total lunar eclipse, mega full moon release, cleanse, and purification follows up on the shadow issues that emerged in your moon sign during the total solar eclipse, August 21st. It is the most personal lunar eclipse reading you will receive without a personal reading, which looks at your unique natal chart, nodes, and the lunar energies that govern important aspects of your evolution. How have you intuitively and emotionally approached this eclipse season thus far? For instance, immediately after the total solar eclipse, Great Mother told me to begin this channel. Although I didn't feel that I was ready, intuitively, I knew it was now or never. I had no idea how to incorporate such a commitment into my busy life coaching schedule. However, not only have the readings saved me countless hours corresponding with clients between sessions, I now realize this current nodal axis is my coaching specialty, Mama and Daddy Drama Trauma. And this dance is an invitation to us all to heal it. Mama Drama Trauma and Daddy Drama Trauma are planetary disorders. It is when a parent or both project unhealed aspects of themselves onto the child or children, causing emotional and or physical trauma. In cases when the parent or parents are unwilling, unable, or unavailable to heal, my coaching work supports individuals to live in loving detachment. For more information on that, go to greatmotherspeaks.info. Click the picture of me wearing an afro and the words Mama Drama Trauma on the homepage, where you will find where to book life coaching and a personal Great Mother Speaks reading online. The Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck used for these readings was channeled several years ago while praying for a more soulful approach to support my clients. Based on Dorothy's orphan narrative in the Wizard of Oz movie, Great Mother teaches us through the signs and symbols of chakras, the lunar cycles, and our God-Goddess identity, how to dance along the yellow brick road we are being guided to walk this lifetime. It is a path that teaches us to honor personal truth and the truth in our healing or ego-soul aligning process to lovingly express our highest truth at all times. At this full moon, January 31st, 2018, Total Lunar Eclipse moment, this is what they have to say to you.
The God of God.
Hello, Capricorn, Aquarius, Moon people. You are a dearly loved, never judged, never condemned, divine child of the Great Mother, Father God. Just want to go ahead and get that out of the way. This is what we are all about here. We are all about embodying our divinity, because Great Mother speaks in shadows. And so shadows are those things that are unspoken, we speak not of, either because we don't have the language or they're just too inconvenient. You know, those inconvenient truths, those things that we'd rather not, just kind of go there. And when we don't have the language, which is the emotional, intuitive, the lunar aspect of our astrology, which is rarely discussed in the depth that we do here, or there's shame or guilt around it, then it keeps us from understanding what inspires our behavior. It keeps us from having a conscious awareness of what actually motivates our personality to be what it is. In fact, it keeps us from truly being us, which is divine, which is worthy, which is our God nature experience incarnate. So I'm inviting you to experience this Great Mother Father dance in your 7th, 8th, and 1st houses as something that has been revealed to you since the total solar eclipse and is now a shadow in your life that you're releasing through this total lunar eclipse. I want you to look at the links below. Be sure that you get your sidereal moon sign, because I want you to listen to your moon sign video that resonates most with you. We use the sidereal, which is your Capricorn soul astrology, and your Aquarius moon sign Western astrology, which is your ego oriented. It's an astrology that's earth centric. And so we talk about the emotions there, and we talk about the intuitive, the soul aspect with your sidereal. Make sure that you are not also an Aquarius moon sign, because if you are, the link is below. I also want you to watch the lunar totality video that's going to go in much more depth about the celestial aspects, the planetary transits, and what they mean for this eclipse. Eclipse seasons are about 18 months, and we have gotten into about the 7th month of ours, which started last May and really got going in earnest in August with a lunar eclipse on the 7th during that full moon, which lunar eclipses are full moons. So we have a full moon on the 31st in Leo in the western and Cancer in the sidereal. And full moon eclipses are cleanses. They are volcanic purges. And our solar eclipses, which occurred, and what we're looking at here for you Capricorn Aquarius moon people, are opportunities to look at the shadows that are coming up for us to address in our lives. The things that we avoid most in our human form are change and choice. And that's what eclipses are always inviting us to do. They're nodal energies that have to do with soul evolution. But of course, since we have free will, it is our choice to change. Okay, so having said that, for you, if you think back to August 21st, the day the world stopped to watch that total solar eclipse occurring from coast to coast in the United States, the epicenter of the financial and the military complex, where were you emotionally? Not in the mechanical drama of great mother fathers lovemaking in the sky, which is beautiful, but which many astrologers even warn us to watch because the power of it is so intense that when we are particularly not conscious of how the energies are working with us, can have some adverse effects. And we see that here on YouTube. There are many videos about how people were adversely affected by it. And so there's fear around it, like there's fear around everything else. But of course, working with the Great Mother, we understand that shadows are about learning, are about evolution. We are divine, we are godly in nature, so we're never weak and we're never victims because we're not seen that way. That is not our nature. During that time for you, Capricorn Aquarius people, you were feeling ungrounded. There was a definite sense of anger, of rage in your life. There was a feeling that something was so unfair, something was so wrong, that you were reacting with rage. What was going on? Was somebody trying to take something from you? This is the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck based on the 49 scenes of the Wizard of Oz. And in this scene, we can see that this is the scene when Miss Gulch comes to take Toto from Dorothy, and she is not having it. Root chakra, waxing gibbous moon card. Think back to that day. Think back to that time. Late August, it was still hot. It was right before all the hurricanes and everything happened. The sun was in Leo in both the sidereal and in the western, shining very brightly. The sun of 100, the light of 100 suns, the power of 100 suns. What were you feeling at that time that made you upset? Now, because this is intuitional as well, we're talking about your 8th and 7th houses. 8th house from Capricorn, Sidereal, and 7th house from your Aquarius. And so 8th house is rebirth. So on a soul level, you were being reborn at that time. There was something that was going on that was completely transforming your nature at that time. And it was an intuitive download that your ego received as 7th house energy with regard to a relationship. What was going on at work? In a marriage, what was going on in partnerships, one-on-one partnerships in particular, maybe a business partnership, maybe something that you were doing with someone at that time that you were hoping to create into a project that you really felt was going the way you wanted to, but it got uprooted. Or you were feeling like it was being uprooted by someone else outside of the partnership. Dorothy and Toto were partners, weren't they? And Toto symbolizes Dorothy's intuition. What about your intuitive self? This Leo sun in the Sidereal was operating under a very highly evolved Leo energy, a very paternalistic Leo energy, not the childish, ego, attention-seeking Leo energy. This Leo energy is a very dignified Leo energy. And so on a soul level, your soul was evolving into a more benefic expression of itself in terms of how it was using its creativity. And you were responding to it in a way that it was changing your world, and you weren't ready. Either you weren't ready to change your world, or someone that you were involved with, a job, some type of contractual situation, wasn't ready for it, didn't want it. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. As we go along, we'll get some more clarity about what Great Mother is really saying about that waxing gibbous moon. Waxing gibbous moon is refining, revising, editing. It's about us really developing and evaluating something. And so that lunar energy is telling us that the moon that eclipsed the sun in Cancer Leo at that time, which is the same moon that's returning for this total lunar eclipse, was during the total solar eclipse in Cancer Leo, Sidereal Western. That's your 7th house energy in both. And so the 7th house with this partnership is very prevalent, isn't it? Because not only was it on an emotional ego level, there was something going on with the partnership, with the solar energy, but Great Mother came with the Cancer Leo energy in the 7th house and eclipsed it. Now she eclipsed it with a very immature Cancer energy, Ashlesha, that nakshatra. And again, watch the lunar totality video to get clarity about what that's about. But basically, that energy is the energy of mama drama trauma. Maybe there was something going on that uprooted you because your mother or maternal figure was not supporting you in what your soul was telling you needed to do. And this scene on M is powerless to help Dorothy. She's just powerless. Mama drama trauma is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and/or physical trauma. And it is a cycle. It doesn't just begin with one generation. It's a generational cycle until it's stopped through the practice of loving detachment. And that's what Dorothy had to do, didn't she? She had to detach from the farm lovingly so that she could return healed. And during the total solar eclipse, there was a mama drama trauma situation going on. Either you were affected by at work through a business partnership, maybe the person you were working with because of their addiction issues. Mama drama trauma causes addiction, over medication, trying to deal with the pain of neglect, abandonment, and abuse. Okay, so these are natural things that come out. Now, what also comes out from this Ashlesha immature sidereal nakshatra Cancer energy is mama wound issues, mother wound issues, attachments, emotional attachment, conditional love. Were you experiencing conditional love? I'll only do this with you, this project, or I'll only be in a relationship with you if you do this. You know, this tit for tat kind of energy. Chaotic emotional kind of pathological situations where things have to be the way I want them to be or else. It's a very turbulent Cancer aspect. And so where was that happening for you in which your soul was saying, hey, it's time for a change? You know, I'm ready to make this transformation. And you were resisting because of a relationship. Dorothy didn't want to run away from home. Excuse me. Get a little sip of my coffee there. She didn't want to run away from home. Not during this scene. She was looking toward her mother figure. And so was it a mother figure, a surrogate, something? Okay, a manager maybe. Maybe it was someone, we're talking about 8th house, who is in your genetic line that was leaving some type of inheritance for you. Maybe you're managing someone's property for them, and there were plans about how to do that, and there were relationship entanglements about how things had to be done, and it's just at that time felt that it was uprooting. But we're starting with that because total solar eclipses are new moons, and so that is the planning, that's the seeding period. You're planning what you're going to plant, and that's when total solar eclipses happen. We see that new moon, that dark moon that eclipses the sun. So the transformative opportunity with the total lunar eclipse with the full moon is all about this Sheila Nagig energy. It's all about this Cancer Leo energy that's a more evolved lunar energy, but now it's being eclipsed by the sun. And the sun is in Capricorn Aquarius. It's no longer in Leo. It's in Capricorn Aquarius. And this soul Capricorn energy and the ego Aquarius energy of the sun is in your first house. So this is dealing with your identity. Great Mother saying the transformative opportunity for Capricorn Aquarius moon people has to do with cleansing and purifying that shadow of rage with being open. Being open to what your soul is telling you. The heart chakra is the crossroads between the ego and the soul. And so that ego responding to someone or something not ready to do the transformation that your soul wants to do with rage. Great Mother is saying, hey, but look, there's some solar energy in Capricorn Aquarius in your first house that is reshaping your identity anyway, sweetheart. Doesn't need the validation from anybody. It's purifying that need within you, that immature Cancer, to a very Cancer energy that's open, that's childlike, that's loving, that's playful. Because the heart chakra is often spoken of as being the chakra to open, that opens all other chakras, which really, you know, the root chakra is another very powerful opening chakra for all the chakras as well. But we like to talk about the heart chakra, opening it. And we forget that the opening of the heart is the simultaneous breaking of the heart. So Great Mother is coming through immediately, Capricorn Aquarius moon people, and she's acknowledging exactly how you feel. This is a powerful total lunar eclipse for you because you represent the South Node at this time. Your collective celestial consciousness is the moon sign of the South Node in the West, which is Aquarius, and K2 in the Sidereal, which is Capricorn, releasing overcommitment to things that no longer serve you, releasing the over-concern with validation from other people. This cleansing purge with this sun energy and Sheila Nagig. This is the scene in The Wizard of Oz when the three and Dorothy are told to bring back the witch's broom to receive their wishes, and the lion promptly jumps out of the window right from the castle. He jumps out of the window. He's so scared. And so maybe you're feeling that way right now. But Great Mother saying, go ahead and take the leap. Take the leap, Capricorn Aquarius people. This is your first house. And after he did that, didn't he claim his power? Didn't he learn exactly what he needed to learn? He opened himself up, even though it was hard. He opened himself up to that journey, and he became the lion. He became the lion, helping to protect Dorothy ultimately when they went to the witch's castle. So Sheila Nagig comes up, and she is open vulva goddess above all of the great Gothic Celtic temples in Britain. And she's so prevalent when they transformed these Celtic buildings into cathedrals, they couldn't remove all of her images. The old crone with the open vulva is the portal of life and death. And so this is what this first house meaning is for you, Capricorn, Aquarius, Moon people. On an intuitive and on an emotional level, you are redefining your very identity with this eclipse. And so rage often precedes that, because what is it that we most fear? Change and choice. The choice is always ours. We are free will beings. We are free will beings. We always have the choice. But what Great Mother doesn't want you to overlook is that the wild woman energy is very supportive of it this time. Of course, we look at supportive energies, and Baba Yaga is the wild woman. The wild woman is how we truly feel. And so if you are truly still feeling rage, bang on a drum. Go outside and just breathe a lot of really, really cold air and think and feel every hot, fiery thought that you have. Capricorn, Aquarius, Moon people. You're ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is sitting right where you are in your second and 12th. Let me see. Capricorn Sidereal. Saturn is in Sagittarius, and so that's your second house. And Aquarius in the Western, Capricorn's in your 12th house. So very deep identity transformation. Aquarius Moon people with Saturn in your 12th house, that is all about refining and redefining who you are. And Sidereal Moon on a soul level with Saturn in Sagittarius, that second house is values. And so what we really want to pay attention to is what our values are and not suppress them. That's what Great Mother's saying with this Wild Woman card. Because Baba Yaga will not be suppressed. If you try to, she will come out at the most inappropriate times. And so everybody came on the journey, right? Even after being afraid that Oz said you must bring back the broom, everybody gallantly, Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, they followed their hearts. They opened their hearts to the journey. But right after, on their way to the witch's castle in the dark forest, another symbol of the new moon. So Great Mother is pointing you right back to that new moon during that total solar eclipse. They were confronted with this sign. I'd go back if I were you. What is it in your life that is taunting you? What is it in your life that is making you feel like you can't handle what the challenges are that you have to overcome rage? What are those triggers? Is it a mama drama trauma issue? Reach out to me. I have resources for you. Is it a relationship that is really not allowing you to do the soul transformative work that you know that you need to do? Allow your wild woman to express herself, because they went beyond that sign too. This is fifth chakra energy. This is heart above energy. This is about anticipating your need to express and claim your power, regardless of how convenient or inconvenient it may be for someone. Shadow, new moon, inconvenient truths, unspoken truths. You cannot suppress wild woman. She'll come out at the most inappropriate times. If we're angry about something, it's okay if at the beginning during the total solar eclipse, intuitively you didn't understand what was going on and you felt kind of weird, but it was overlooked. But see, it's 6 months on now. And so Great Mother is saying, look back at that new moon and realize what that rage was telling you, Capricorn, Aquarius, Moon people, because the wild woman wants to be expressed. In fact, she's ready to go on the journey and she will not be stopped. So what are the shadows that need to be spoken, fifth chakra? What are the inconvenient truths that need to be expressed, fifth chakra? In the new moon energy. Okay? What we want to pay attention to is that during the solar eclipse, our shadows are revealed. And during the lunar eclipse, we release them. Okay? And so you release them by being open. Great Mother's saying, don't overlook the supportive energy that's available for you to do that. That's why she doesn't want you to overlook your wild woman. And that might be something that's quite scary to you. So let's look at that shadow a little deeper, shall we? To see what Great Mother is offering to you as support. She's offering this full moon to you as a support, Capricorn, Aquarius moon people. She's saying that this full moon light in Capricorn, Aquarius, which Capricorn in the Sidereal is in Shravana. This nakshatra is a very loving energy, specifically with regard to a love of learning. It loves to listen. It loves to apply what it has learned to practical means. It is a very curious energy. It loves to preserve positive history for the future. This Capricorn sidereal sun energy, this full moon, this lunar eclipse, is also a mother relationship energy. It has to do with individuals born under this nakshatra who suffer the mother wound. And they tend to heal from it and use the lessons that they have learned to share with others. Again, a love of learning the lessons of mama drama and daddy drama trauma. Now, the lesson of mama drama trauma for the soul, this is a soul evolutionary issue. This is not a condemnation. It's not a judgment. That's why we have the wheels of the zodiac. We all have to experience different things for our evolutionary process. And that fourth house energy, that Cancer energy, and we're juxtaposing that with the Capricorn and the sidereal, okay, a release. We're talking about releasing that mother wound energy, okay, just kind of focusing on that too much, just kind of dedicated to that too much, just kind of committed to that too much, to overcare to that, which is what we see in this card of the prostitute. Dorothy ran back to the farm after she ran away out of guilt. The prostitute, Ishtar, and the twister was kicking up. In this deck, the Ankh represents the second chakra. So her desire was to please Aquarius full moon, sun in the Western astrology. That sun is shining on the need to please, as opposed to her focusing on what her Cancer Leo energy was saying, which was, this is not good. This environment is not good for me because it does not honor my intuition. The full moon sun is offering a purification of that avoidance, of that truth avoidance, to evolve into a more self-caring energy. So the shadow that you're in, Capricorn Aquarius moon people, is the shadow of the prostitute, Ishtar. And Ishtar represents a very important question that Great Mother always asks us when this card appears, and that is, are we sharing ourselves with the world as we are all prostitutes? That's why it's the oldest profession in the world, is because we all are souls who come here fully equipped and fully abundant with what we need to live. And so we share with others in a physical material exchange experience to receive what they have for our survival. So we all engage in a survival exchange of some kind. The issue with the prostitute card is, are we exchanging in a way that sells us out, that makes us less than the divine children of Great Mother Father God that we are? Or are we doing it in such a way that honors who we are? That's the question. So Dorothy returning home, are you in your shadow honoring whatever this issue is that's making you feel uprooted, and expressing your need beyond the fear because you're opening up to this purification opportunity? Or are we looking at the shadow in a way that, no, I still don't understand this rage thing, but I've been experiencing rage for the past 6 months, and I don't know why I'm scared, but I don't know about this rage, and I don't know about being open either, but I know about the darkest shadow. That's okay, because that means that it did register with you, that new moon total solar eclipse. But what Great Mother is saying is that the eclipse occurred so that this shadow could come out and you could benefit energetically by the supportive energies available to release it. But the shadow is saying that the sun still needs to shine on this aspect of selling yourself out. Your relationship is that you feel victimized. And so you do feel victimized by something or someone. You do feel like something is holding back your soul transformation and evolution. You do feel powerless. This is the Sedna card, which is the scene in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy meets Professor Marvel when she first runs away. Okay, it's a crescent moon card in the second chakra. So her desire was to honor and to protect herself and to be in a higher Cancer energy, which is what this full moon lunar eclipse is. This is in Pusha Nakshatra, which is a very caregiving, very mature, very generous Cancer energy. And so she was doing that for herself at that time. But the shadow was, which is the majority of this card, the shadow in her expressing that to Professor Marvel was that there was a lot of complaining, which is what happens a lot of times when we're enraged, right? When we're enraged, we're complaining. We're not empowered yet. We're just beginning to acknowledge. Acknowledgement and grieving of something is a journey. And so she's saying that that's where you are in your journey right now. You're still at the phase of telling people who will listen what your problems are, as opposed to looking at your power. And the moon is in Cancer Leo, which is in your 7th house. And so your power is in your partnerships. Your power is in the verbal contracts that you're making with people beyond the fear that you may have. See, these are choices that you have, but you would have to change, wouldn't you? And that makes you mad. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. But what Great Mother is saying is that your shadow work is going to be so rewarding in releasing all of this and choosing to change and not being mad at where your soul wants to go in its evolution, that you're going to be amazed. You're going to be shocked. This is the waning gibbous. Let me see. This is the waxing gibbous third eye moon card. Okay. This is the primordial father card. This is when everyone returns with the broom and they're shocked to receive a reward instead of their wish, or their wish is fulfilled through an award that they never expected. Okay. And so this is the Ra card. And this is when Oz tells them, hey, look, here's a diploma, Scarecrow. Here's a medal, Lion. Here's a heart, Tin Man. It may not be what you expect, but through working with these energies, making the choice to change in accordance with what your intuition is telling you to do, because your intuition in Cancer is 7th house. You're wanting to have more mature relationships with people. You're wanting to have more caregiving and nurturing relationships with people. And you're wanting to do it in a way that honors who you are, as opposed to selling you out. And by making choices to speak that into existence, that wild woman Baba Yaga energy, as opposed to avoiding or ignoring it, is going to allow you to do it. It's going to give you the power to do it. If you saw my little grimy coffee cup, that's because I have ghee in my coffee to coat my stomach from the caffeine. It's not a lot of caffeine, it's mostly chicory, but you know. Great Mother is saying what you need to embody to facilitate this shadow work is to acknowledge that your root chakra has been shaken. And so again, acknowledge this rage, because when Dorothy returns, this is the scene, the first scene when Dorothy returns home to the farm after she clicks her heels 3 times and she's there with Aunt Em. This is the acknowledgement card. It's a root chakra card. You can see the root chakra right there. Okay, and so this is balsamic moon. And so this is rest, relaxation, recuperation, and that's exactly what she's doing as she returns home, root chakra. And she's saying that facilitate that energy, that you are regrounding yourself, that you have returned from a journey. And through your shadow work with this total lunar eclipse of releasing the rage, releasing the fear, and being rewarded through this reading, through the celestial supportive energies to release all of that stuff. It wasn't what you expected, but it's what you're gonna get. In order for you to acknowledge the rage, to release it, you have to acknowledge it before you can release it. And so she's saying you need to embody a spirit of acknowledgement, because Dorothy realized immediately that I Am had not registered that she actually had been gone. Not fainted, but gone to a whole nother dimension. But she wasn't going to listen to her. And she immediately, because she had gone through a journey, receiving a reward, that she becoming the wild woman to take her power back, going through that dark forest, dark night of the soul. You have to do that on your own. And she was rewarded by coming home through her sheer belief. Remember, Glinda the Good Witch said, hey, click your heels 3 times. And Scarecrow said, why didn't you tell her that from the get? She said she wouldn't have believed me. She had to learn for herself. But through believing that you can, you will be rewarded. Capricorn, Aquarius people, that's all that it takes during this full moon. Just energetically believe it, so that you can embody the acknowledgement that you need, that there is one God, one law. Whether people come with me or not, 7th house energy. Whether they partner with me or not on my expression, that's okay. That's okay. But I acknowledge that they don't, not with rage. I acknowledge that they don't with openness. Not as a victim. That might be how I feel now. But after I release the rage, I will be rewarded. But I can't release it until I embody the spirit of acknowledging it. And Great Mother says that the outcome of all this work for you, wouldn't you know? When Great Mother speaks, she speaks to us so lovingly. There's justice for you. This is the first quarter, third eye card. The third eye, first quarter moon card is about making choices. It's about facing challenges and taking action based on that. From your third eye, your intuitive, your Capricorn energy, which is South Node in the Sidereal. Let that stuff go. You know, let that go. Let that Capricorn sun shine on the listening and loving to learn. What are you listening to? Your intuition. What is it telling you? What is it that you know you need to do about this prostitute rage situation? What is it that you know? It's just been bugging you ever since the end of summer. Because you have grown in many ways. The transformative opportunity is to open up to that growth since that total solar eclipse and see how you are being rewarded. Even today, if you just start today acknowledging the upset, your intuition is going to open up so quickly from that choice, first quarter energy, intuition, third eye, all the way to a waxing gibbous energy, which is editing and revising. You're going to be revising and recalibrating your energy field so quickly that you're going to see in your outcome of this energy work that there's justice. Not only has it all been worth it and you've been rewarded for your work, but that you have received an understanding about yourself that's greater than anything you would have ever imagined before or desired before. Second chakra is desire, heart below energy. This is heart above energy. Heart below energy, heart above energy, heart below energy, heart above energy, heart below energy. So we are cleansing everything that doesn't serve us from the total solar eclipse coming forward. And through that work of acknowledging the pain, you are being rewarded with justice, Capricorn, Aquarius, Moon people. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking as you see fit. But remember, most of all and above all, Great Mother loves you, and I do too. As always, double check your moon sign at the links below, because in case it is the same in your sidereal as it is in your western, which happens 1/5 of the time, then you will also want to listen to your celestial collective consciousness sign before this.